bit chilly, Troy, New York for this one. RPI in their customary one-time use auction off at the end of the night, actually raffle off at the end of the night. Uniforms, they are best described as, well, they're black, gray faded shoulders, red sleeves with white stripes, black forearms. They're wearing their red helmets tonight instead of the white that they have been wearing during home games. It's black out here Union in their traditional whites with maroon sleeves and stripes, maroon helmets, maroon pants. They are undefeated. Union, an impressive sweep of Northeastern when the Huskies were number 12 in the country. They beat them 4-3 in overtime and 3-1. That was on the road in Boston. Union's also swept Omaha, and they beat West Point to open the year. Engineers 0-3. About to drop the puck here on 91.5 FM. Our officials for tonight's game, Brian Hicks and Brad LeBlanc, linesmen Adam Wood and James Shea. Dropping the puck here. Well, it was an immediate toss of the centerman Sam Morton, wins it back for Union, and this one is underway. Morton working it up the left side wall, chipped in deep by Vascolius. They bottle things up along the far half wall, now swept in deep. TJ Samick back to pick it up there. Junior from St. Paul, Minnesota, trying to clear it out near side. Get some help from Billy Jerry on out through center ice. Dutchmen take over there. Brandon Estes will shoot it in. Gathered in by Jerry. He'll use the end boards to find freshman Brady Ferner. Chips it off the glass, and second effort, third effort, trying to get it out of the zone. They can't do so. Swept back in by the Dutchmen. 45 seconds in, as it's played ahead by Samick, swatted right back in his face by Cole Myers. Had a hot start to his season, 8 points on 4 goals, 4 assists for the Union senior out of New Jersey. Now work it back to the point, some room there. Campolito shot, skips on through. Might have been partially blocked there by Polino. Now Patrick Polino there, moves it out to center, and the Engineers can breathe and make a change. Spun off the wall by Greg Campbell. Worked on further into the zone, Liam Morgan. He'll take a wrist shot, kicked away by Marshall on the left pad. Center ice, flipped along, kicked that out to center. It'll be lobbed back in by the junior captain, Will Riley from Toronto, Ontario. Scored his first goal of the year last time out. The only RPI goal against UConn. Fighting for it there. Good battle, Tommy Lee, although he lost the puck, and that's Joseph Campolito back on it for Union. Back behind the goal it goes. Lee to it. Not very big kid out of Calgary, but he'll put his nose in there as they dig around in the corner for it. Well, Ott couldn't corral. Now the Dutchman to center ice. First goal also important, especially for this RPI psyche. See if they can work the puck back the other direction. As Sebastian Vidmar, senior assistant captain from Malmo, Sweden, had it for a moment, but is forced off his stick. Union wants to make a partial change. RPI should be able to break the center. Little stick handle move there to get free for Brady Whiffen. He'll just lob it into the corner. RPI will complete its change. Teams feeling each other out early on. This is the line we talked about pregame. Hayhurst with Burgess and Lepinin. Now Lepinin has it. He has his stick lifted. Lost the puck. Cleared to center by the Dutchman. Gathered up by the captain, Tommy Grant, off the glass. Burgess gloves it down, flips it across neatly from Mears Moore. Moore, senior out of Duluth, will work it across for Lepinin, some room. Walking in, Grant a shot, and it's turned away by the netminder. That's Darian Hansen. He's the ECAC hockey reigning goaltender of the week after his effort against the Huskies last weekend. Numbers on the sophomore Hansen. He's from East Bethel, Minnesota, 6'3", 181, 2-0, 944 save percentage, 199 goals against. Puck behind the RPI goal now, fed free, trying to settle there. It's going to be Collias to work it up the boards. Now he gets it back, some room in the circle, a shot. That was along the ice and just wide on the screamer from Brandon Estes. Now carried on by Morton into the RPI zone. Trying to stay with him is Harris. Now Estes a shot. That one's gloved but not held by Marshall on its way through. Poked at, loose in the slot. The reach of Harris works it out there. It'll wrap around. Waiting for it is Danny DeGrande, and he just chops it out to center. Estes another crack, and now carried on in. Getting the puck deep was Sam Morton, and that's something that both of these teams will need to do. Finish off the play. Morton got it deep, allows Union to complete the change. Now they force the turnover. Meyer a shot through all the way, claimed on the near side by Ryan Walker. Right back behind the goal it goes. To the point, some space. Campolito, a shot that was blocked by traffic in front. Penalty coming up on the Engineers as Campbell has it here, extra man on. Shot comes in, save made by Marshall. 2 spades and another. What a stop by Marshall as he kept that one out. On the doorstep, a sure goal there, and now finally a touch of the puck. And Union's going to go on the power play. Lyndon Marshall throwing that left leg out, making a couple of big saves. And the penalty is going to be a high stick. It's going to go on Billy Jerry. So Union goes on the man advantage here. Engineers penalty kill this year, 69.2%. Isn't a look at the saves by Marshall. Well, if you're watching on RPI TV, that is. If you're not, I'll have to describe him for you. He had that left leg along the ice in the crease. And all I think it was Meyer had to do, I can double check. Yeah, all Cole Meyer had to do was lift that puck. And they're going to look at this, I guess. But 2 tremendous saves. The first one was nice. But getting that left pad back, he kept it out. And this third try hit the post. So this is going to come up certainly, well, I would say inconclusive, but it's not inconclusive. It's conclusively not in the goal. And somehow, even if Meyer shoots that one closer to the corner of the net, it might go in, but he caught the pad of Marshall, who, give Marshall credit, he made that initial save and then had to kick that leg up closer to the goal line to keep it out. So shots officially in the game 3-1 Union. And they will go on the power play here. It's an awful long delay here for what seems to be a pretty obvious situation. Maybe it's, sometimes I will say there's some issue getting the replay they're looking for on the screen. So it might not be actually deliberating as much as it is the technology. And of course, if you ask Brown University, they know all about the technology failing here. Failing in the sense for the Bears, but not for the RPI, if you can remember that situation where it, RPI was bailed out by a malfunction of the review equipment here. Anyway, power play for Union coming up. They're at 26.3%, which is 5 for 19. Engineers, I talked about it with Coach Smith, but they've killed off 8 in a row, which is a much better last few games than it was off the bat. They were 3 for 7 killing off penalties in their opener against UMass. And no goal, of course. They could have just radioed up to me. I would have told them right away. But Brian Hicks says no goal. Engineers overall, I should say, 9 for 13 on the kill, 69.2%. But a big penalty kill in this game coming up here for the Engineers. And the Engineers win the face-off, and it's a big one. They're able to clear it down. Jacob Hayhurst, shorthanded, will chase as Darian Hansen leaves it aside now, stolen away and fed back out to center. Backing up and firing it down in the air off the glass behind Hansen was TJ Samick. And Union will start its power play breakout here. Estes drops it off for Brett Sapinski. Senior from Collegeville, Pennsylvania, fires a shot, easy stick save that time for Marshall. And then a chance to clear, and Tommy Grant, make that Brady Whiffen gets the job done. This team does have some good penalty killers. You just don't want to wear them out, especially against this potent power play of Union. Adams up the wall into the zone for Morgan in the slot, walking right in, they score. It's a power play goal. As it looked like a couple of these Dutchmen got in behind the Engineers there, and they're grabbing that puck, so it's somebody's first goal. It is Sam Morton, the freshman from Benicia, California. with his first collegiate tally. It comes on the power play with 14:35 to go. And Union 1 for 1 on the man advantage. It looked like they just had numbers down low. Not entirely sure. It was Meyer and Morton together in kind of a 2-on-1, kind of bunched up. But Marshall really didn't know who to follow there. Yeah, it was a good play by Union down low. A little bit of a blown coverage there if you're RPI. You don't want to have that on the backside, but you know, credit the Dutchman for finishing it off. 1-0 Union. We're 5.5 into the first period. Engineers playing from behind for the third time. Here's a shot by DeGrande. It was blocked down and chipped back to center. Here come the Dutchmen. The hit along the far side boards. Now Moore gets knocked in the corner. Back out to center comes RPI. Tour Linden chipped in deep. This is the freshman group out there. Bowman, Linden, and DeGrande. Center ice play. Slapped into the zone by Riley. No. Brierly across the line. Slot shot saved by Marshall with the glove, and he'll hold on to it there. Taylor Brierly, a sophomore from East Grand Forks, Minnesota, already 3 points from the blue line, a goal and 2 assists in 5 games for the Dutchman. As we are in our first media stoppage here at the Houston Fieldhouse, 1-0 Union leads on a goal by Sam Morton on the power play. It was the only power play shot in this one. Shots are currently 6-1 Union overall. These two teams are back at it tomorrow night. Jeff and I will be in Schenectady for that one. 7 o'clock as well. Against these same 11th ranked Dutchmen. RPI, they've been down before this year. As I mentioned, this is the 4th game in a row they've allowed the first goal, but still plenty of hockey left, and they've proved they've been able to bounce back. Even in the game they lost 6-1, it felt like RPI might have been the better team against UMass 5-on-5. I know it sounds crazy, but they were out shooting the Minutemen as there's a face-off flipped out to center. They're outplaying the Minutemen 5-on-5, and really the 3 power play goals for UMass in that game really turned the tide, of course, as you might imagine. So certainly all is not lost here. Puck loose, shot coming, saved by Marshall right on in the circle, and that time, was that Rinaldi getting loose? It was. Anthony Rinaldi found himself with some space in that right circle. Montreal, Quebec native, 2 goals, 2 assists already for him. Rinaldi in the 5 games, and fired that one right into the breadbasket of Marshall. Face-off coming to Marshall's left, near side of the RPI zone. Expecting over 3,000 here for this one. Was a shot deflected wide off the draw. Bottle up in the far corner. We have a couple players tangled up. It was Meyer and Whiffen. And there was a Dutchman dumped over there as well. Fans enjoying that hit as they continue to go at it over there. Still no whistles. They're letting them tango here. Crowd getting into it as well. 7 minutes into the first, 1-0 Union leading. Now Samek's going to take a holding penalty here, as he had his man wrapped up for a little bit too long in the corner. And RPI looked like they got a touch there, but they're going to need more than that, I guess. Ferner will get a touch of the puck. And it's going to be a hook, not a hold, but same outcome. Now Samek goes to plead his case. I know he couldn't hear me, but I was trying to send him messages. TJ got his stick caught up in the midsection and held on a little bit too long. A power play for Union. They're second. They're 1 for 1. And RPI can ill afford to reenact the season opener here. And give up all those give up all those power play goals. Anyway, they get it deep off the faceoff, so a good defensive zone faceoff win. Draws are 4-2 Union, but the Engineers have won 2 big ones in their own zone. Puck dumped in, back to pick it up. Jake Johnson getting his first taste of the RPI Union rivalry, but then Jerry, with an opportunity to clear it out, shoots it into his own bench. And a bit of a break here. Didn't look like that didn't look like it sailed on him. It must have just went over the boards there. So face off back in the RPI zone. Won by the Engineers. Harris trying to clear, kept in nicely by Morgan. Now Morton walks out with it. He has the lone goal in this one. Minute 27 to go on the Union power play. Morgan across for Campolito, or make it Coleus rather. Down low, redirected over the top. That was Cole Meyer in front of the net, just kind of camped out there. He was looking for the redirect, just didn't want to sky it 20 feet in the air and over the glass. Minute 18 to go in the Union power play, 12:01 to go in the first period. 1-0 Union on top here in the annual blackout game. Students get in free to the Houston Fieldhouse if you're wearing a piece of black, an article of black clothing. I have a funny story about my freshman year. I'll tell you in a second. As the breakout comes here, Vascolius on the move. He'll throw a little saucer pass up ice, and this will be icing on Union. So now the penalty kill catches a break here on the poor outlet pass from Vascolius. Halfway through the power play. We have more media stoppages, so I have plenty of time to tell silly stories. Draw in the Union zone. Polino to take it. Not a natural centerman, so and Engineers aren't really concerned with winning that type of draw. Union can win it back, and RPI can set up backing up for the kill. Adams will shoot it in. Marshall slows it down but doesn't stop it. Tommy Grant far side. Polino in the far corner of the RPI end. Digging away, it's loose in the circle. Picked up here. RPI thought about going. Now they shoot it into the Union bench. I was going to say maybe a chance at a 2-on-1, but Jake Morello this time finds the Union bench from the RPI zone. And that's the second time. Those aren't glaring errors in the moment, but you can't continue to miss the wall there, miss the glass, and just get that puck down out of the zone. Then you got to face off in your own end again. Well, the Engineers win it. Another big win in the circle. Johnson trying to clear. He's bottled up in the near corner, and Union takes over. Here's Estes. Across for Rinaldi. 20 seconds to go in the power play. Popped in the air. Glove towards the line where it's kept in by the Dutchman. I think that was Johnson who got his glove on it. Now back up top. Shoulder numbers are a bit of a challenge. Stepping out in front. It was actually it was Johnson who made the play. Now loose in front, turning in, shooting. Marshall made the save and is cleared out and down. This will be icing on RPI. Now they wave it off as the goaltender Hansen came out for a moment to play it. Good eye here by the linesman on the near side. That is Adam Wood. If the goaltender comes out and attempt to make a play on the puck, you wave off the icing. It was right as the penalty was expiring, but it would have been icing. As now Marshall covers up on the other end as it was tipped in from the neutral zone on goal. He'll hold on there. If the goalie makes an attempt to play a puck down ice, you wave off the icing. That was the case there. But the Engineers kill off the second Union power play. Couple of decent chances for the Dutchman there. Face off in the RPI zone now after the cover. Shots are 9-1 Union. They lead 1-0. Now Riley's taken down. We're going to have a penalty the other way. It's going to be a hold, and the Engineers man advantage gets its first opportunity. 10-11 to go in the first period. RPI's power play 14.3%. That's 2 for 14. Dutchman on the kill, 17 out of 26. So worse than RPI's at 65.4 coming in for Union. And a big opportunity for the Engineers to try and equalize. The penalty is on Lucas Bro. Don't remember a shift of his so far, so that might have been his first. Now Polino has some trouble along the wall, trying to keep it in. It's swatted out of the zone. And down by Ryan Walker. RPI will start out from behind its own goal once again. It's Todd Burgess with a little drop pass. Union trying to jump the breakout in the RPI end. RPI is able to get loose. Now a shot towards goal. Was not redirected by Hayhurst, although he tried. Whiffing back to pick it up for the Engineers in his own zone on the clear. Stick handling is Hayhurst, lost it there. And now a couple players get tangled up in the neutral zone, and it's Will Riley to clean up the mess. He'll spin back towards his own zone. More pressure comes from Morton. And now just off the bench is Tommy Lee. Up the boards for Moore. He lost it there. It was stolen away by Greg Campbell and then shot right back in. Greg Campbell seems like one of those Union skaters, defensemen that's been there for 6 years. Certainly, of course, not allowed and not the case, but just feels like he's a got to spare or one of those other guys. There's a shot on it. This one's held onto by Marshall as a shorthanded effort there. Wasn't much of a chance. I was thinking of Jeff Taylor, one of those guys that you feel like has been at Union for. And there's a shot right off the draw, and they score a shorthanded goal. Top corner. Did not expect that, neither did Lyndon Marshall. Sean Harrison, the sophomore from Anchorage, Alaska, picks up his 4th goal of his career, his first of the year. Just his 2nd point. That faceoff was won cleanly to him at the near hash. Actually, a little bit back of that. One back cleanly, and he's not even that high. He just beat Marshall glove side. It's a shorthanded goal for Union. 30 seconds to go on the RPI power play. They'll fire it in. Hansen slows it down and nearly popped back in front of the goal before he got there. Couple of special teams goals for Union here. And now bottled up was Lepinin. Trying to get it out, Vidmar. Now the Engineers claim it. 11 to go in the power play. Johnson across. Riley. And took his eye off at Burgess. He'll go back to the corner to play it down low. Here's Hayhurst. Off the wall, he's tripped up. Penalty coming up. Penalty is over to Bro. Then they're going to go right back on the man advantage. It's going to be a trip. So this is Sapinski going to the box for tripping. 8:08 to go in the first period. RPI down 2-0. And I think we're going to get a stoppage here. I think. Is this our 8-minute media stoppage? I guess so. So RPI will have its 2nd power play coming up. It's going to be a trip on Sapinski. Anyway, not to leave you guys hanging, RPI TV folks get another look at it. The trip. Not a difficult call for the officials there. Right in front of the referee at that end. I think it was Hicks. Anyway, so freshman year, I thought that Black Friday meant you couldn't have anything other, you had to be completely black. Everything, all your clothing, jacket, pants, shirt, shoes. Luckily I had black shoes. So I came dressed entirely in black, and they said, well, I think they laughed at me, but or maybe just thought I had a lot of school spirit. But you just have to be wearing some black to get a free ticket. You don't have to be wearing all black. But I learned my lesson and then has season tickets the rest of the way, so. Things you learn freshman year in college, I guess. Here's a clearing effort. Trying to bat it out of the air was Ferner, but he couldn't. It's back out into the RPI zone, but Brady Ferner has it there. Freshman from Dakota Dunes, South Dakota. He'll hand it off to Moore. Gets it right back. Flipped out of the zone by Meyer. RPI will have to reset. Minute 36 to go on the power play. Engineers 0 for 1 on the man advantage so far. Dropped off here. Fed in by Moore. It'll ring around. All the way to the point now. Shoveled right back behind the goal for Tommy Lee. Lee gets loose, trying to feed it in front. He had Moore, but his pass hit a skate, and Union's able to clear. Moore will shoot it off the near boards as pressure comes. Burgess will swat it right back behind the goal for Ferner. As a one-man shorthanded play from Walker, getting the job done. Now it's kicked along into the zone for Whiffen. Try to give it back for Polino, and it's cleared out by the Dutchman. Engineers have been one and done, or not quite one and done here on this particular power play. Getting into the zone, but Union's been able to immediately clear. Now Riley drops it off. Hayhurst a little bit of speed into the zone. Point for Burgess. His pass hit a leg and pops right back out. Now Riley back to pick it up. 30 seconds to go on the RPI power play. Polino got some snow all over his pants. He went down deep in Union territory. Didn't see what happened to him. Now it's given away by Burgess and shot right back in by the Dutchman. 15 seconds to go on the RPI power play. Chance for one more rush here. 6:18 to go, first period. Whoa, 2-0 Union leads. It's rung in by Samick. All the way around it goes. DeGrande, he's bottled up behind the goal. Penalty about to expire. It's now over. Sapinski out of the box. Up ice comes Vidmar. He gets dumped there, and now a penalty's coming up as Bowman took him down. It's going to be a hold on Nick Bowman, and these penalty boxes, while they haven't been too full, they've been busy. We haven't had more than one guy in the box at a time, but now Bowman goes off here for RPI for a hold. Exactly 6 minutes to go in the first period as he held Vidmar, or so he was accused. Draw here, one back by Union. Morgan, far point, Morgan gets it back. Down low, trying to touch it behind there was Morton. And now kept at the point by Coleus. Now Liam Morgan in the slot. Meyer down low, twisting and turning. Fed far side right through the stick of the intended target, Adams. Adams again, drops it off for Coleus. Now Morgan, Coleus far point. Near point Morgan. Into the slot, one-timer and a left toe save by Marshall, and a try by Meyer. Adams can't control. Union's power play setting things up on the near side. Center blue line, it's Coleus. Near point Morgan. Right into the middle for Adams. One-timer, no, he's knocked down there by, I think it was Hayhurst. Good shorthanded effort. There's a one-timer over the top, hits the glass, and this will leave the zone. RPI catches a break there. Halfway through this power play, felt like an eternity. 5 minutes to go in the first. Still 2-0 Union. Moved in by Coleus on the stick handle. Back to the point, Sapinski. Little shake and bake, trying to get away from Whiffen. Down low, it's Coleus, or excuse me, Vidmar. Walker back to Vidmar. And now Walker at the near wall. Vidmar again, 37 to go in the power play for Union. Estes at the blue line. Far side connection, it's Rinaldi. Down low, goal line extended. Walker centering pass. And that one never got to goal. Donovan Ott trying to clear, kept in far side by Estes. Fakes a shot. Near side Vidmar. Center blue line, it's going to be Estes again. Near point Vidmar. Down low, gloved by Walker. Back to the point it goes for Estes. Far side circle Rinaldi. Rinaldi a shot, backdoor save by Marshall. And now he's wrapped up. Walker is by Grant trying to get it loose. It's going to be a hand pass on RPI, and we do get a touch of the puck. Penalty is over. And boy, oh boy, how much of that power play was spent in the RPI zone. Engineers able to kill it off. The hand pass ends things. RPI not able to change here, so it works a little bit like an icing on that hand pass, but at least they'll be able to have 5 skaters out there. There's some discussion about who's able to be on the ice. I think it has to be Bowman. because he's the guy who came out of the box. There'll only be 1 second since the penalty expired, so they're saying there's no realistic chance RPI could have changed there on the no change rule. So Bowman, who was just in the box for holding, has to be out there for this draw. And it's a gassed shorthanded group that's just trying to get the puck deep. Bowman gets it as far as the blue line. Now it's picked up by Riley. RPI can change its forwards. 3:48 to go in the first period. This is shot down and beaten out by Lepinen. Hayhurst can't corral this one. It goes bounding out to center, where it's corralled by Ferner. Near side for Mears Moore. He'll shoot it right back in. Stopped there by Hansen. Plenty of pressure comes, but Campbell tries to wing it around behind for Campolito. Chipped off the boards on further. The former wearer of number 14 was J.C. Brassard. This is Lucas Bro, who took that penalty earlier. Out there now, 5-on-5 hockey, 3:14 left. That one left the zone, says the linesman on the near side, James Shea. We get a whistle and a much-needed break. 3:14 on the clock. Shots right now are 12-1 in favor of Union. So RPI only had 4 shots in the first period against UConn last time out. Just 1 so far here against the Dutchmen. As we're going to have our final media stoppage of this period. Faceoff will be just outside the RPI zone. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us tonight. We'd like to thank the Rensselaer Union, which provides the funding for WRPI and all the club-related activity of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of RPI hockey, football, and baseball. WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to WRPI.org. You can pick up our broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so long as WRPI is broadcasting. We'll provide that broadcast on our internet feed. Once again, that's WRPI.org. Also want to welcome all those folks watching on RPI TV. Welcome to Troy and the Houston Fieldhouse. It's a 2-0 Union lead, a power play goal, and a shorthanded goal for the Dutchmen in this first period. Engineers unsuccessful on their 2 man advantage tries. Union is 1 for 3. After their most recent attempt, this should be icing, and it is on the Dutchmen. Plenty of RPI sporting going on this weekend. Hockey home and away against Union. RPI football's in action tomorrow. Kurt and Bob Conway. Kurt Stutt, Bob Conway will be in Rochester for the noon kickoff. Big Liberty League game. They're all big now for RPI with 3 regular season games left. They're 6-0 and 17 in the country. 2-0 in Liberty League play. And well, we want to wish the boys out west some luck against the Yellow Jackets tomorrow. Nice play on the forecheck by Otto Ville Lepinen, freshman from Espoo, Finland. As this shot down again, this might be icing, if not for the speed shown here, and as a hit behind the goal, Parker Fu gets there, centering pass, only Engineers in front. And they'll work it out to center ice. Trying to track it down there was Hayhurst, nearly stolen away. Diving play by Lepinen, but he only pushed the puck further into the zone, couldn't corral. Now picked up by Coleus. He'll settle things down. 2:20 left in the first. Playing 5-on-5 for the first time in a while, it seems. And we're okay with that. Cole Meyer working it up the wall for Morgan. Bouncing puck, couldn't control it. Moved in by Polino, but he lost it just across the line. Shot back towards RPI's end. Now they bottle things up in front of the bench. Now it goes trickling into RPI territory. Billy Jerry back to pick it up. Sophomore centerman from River Falls, Wisconsin. 12 points last year for him. Still looking for his first this year. Had 7 goals and 5 assists in 37 games. That's every single Engineers contest last season. Near side, Coleus. Morgan. Fed across. On they come into the RPI zone. A wrister and a glove save by Marshall. He'll get a whistle. If it registers, the 13th attempt on goal for Union. .125 to play first period. I will have talked to Ralph Isernia, 6th-year head coach for RPI football. That'll be our first intermission interview here on WRPI. Sat down for a good 9-minute chat with him before they headed off to Rochester. Here's Campbell, a wrister off a stick up into the crowd, or into the netting, I should say. Would have been where Section 1 used to be. Back when this place used to seat over 5,200. Draw here to the left of Marshall. Engineers looking to get to the break. Down just the 2 or maybe less that they can start a rush. Chipped off the boards in a race for the puck. Who's going to get there? DeGrande trying to. Poked away nicely by Campolito. Now near corner Union zone to the point. Samick gives it right away to Campolito. And some high sticks there in the areas of maybe a hook or a slash, but we play on. The stick penalties are the ones you really want to avoid. And we do get a whistle here. What's the call? Might have spoke too soon. It's going to be a hook. There I go, running my mouth. It's going to be a hook on the Engineers with 53.7 left. The 4th Union power play. After the Engineers were so good at staying out of the box last 2 games. This is going to be DeGrande on a hook. I thought he got his stick up in a bad spot, but I didn't see an arm go up right away. So I was like, well, maybe he got away with it. Not the case. It's going to be a hook. It's going to go on DeGrande. So the power play begins here in the first. Could carry over. Engineers wanted to. Here's Meyer walking in. Drops it off. Colias fakes the shot. Now Morgan a shot. That's blocked by Riley. 40 seconds left to go in the period. Drop pass here. Kick towards the point. This will stay in the zone. Liam Morgan gets to it as it's slowed on its way to the blue line. Meyer back to Morgan near point. Colias at the far point. He'll take a wrist shot. Save Marshall. Rebound. Another save made on the try by Meyer. Kept in at the blue line. Engineers hanging on for dear life here late in this first period. Shot comes in, blocked away. Hayhurst wants to skate shorthanded. He's one-on-one with Colias. He'll take a shot, hit Colias in the shin pad, and he'll go off on a change with 5, but that should do it at least for the period. One last-ditch effort for Union as Colias up ice with 2-1. Doesn't get into the zone. Takes a couple of bumps on his way through. He's surrounded by Engineers. They need to separate him from the herd. 2-0 Union. They outshoot RPI 15-1 in the frame. And they will be on the power play for a little over a minute as we go into the second. I'll have my chat with RPI head coach Ralph Isernia, head football coach, coming up in our first intermission. And you'll hear that in its entirety in just a moment. 2-0 Union, the number 11 Dutchman leading after 1. You're listening to live coverage of RPI hockey on 91.5 FM WRPI Troy.
Tri-City Reynolds, Duncan, Toyota, CETA. Bespoke Ball, Mechanics Park, Slide Nerdy, Ben & Jerry's, Warren Young Fame, Boucher Clark Bentos, Image Smart, Gatherers Panolia, Tryhards, Little Caesars Pizza, Howard Air Realty, RPI Transit and Control Center, H2M Architects and Engineers, and Tri-City Architects.
Like RPI, we have a reputation for being professional at what we do. All of the research on aftermarket is one of the most experienced personal firms in the state of New York. We are your hometown lawyers. We are here for you if you are opposed to the one fight. Go red.
Once again, we welcome you inside the Houston Fieldhouse. ECAC Hockey, RPI Hockey on 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy. Perry Lascara is here for Blackout. Engineers taking on number 11 Union College. And it's the Dutchmen on top 2-0 after one period of play. Shots were 15-1 in favor of the visitors. Face-offs were even at 11 apiece. Cole Meyer was the best in the circle for Union. He was 5-3. Engineers, all their top drawmen were 500, as you might expect when it's 11-11. But Brady Whiffen was 4-4. Jacob Hayhurst was 3-3. Billy Jerry was 2-2. Danny DeGrande 1-0. Linden was Tour Linden, that is, not Lyndon Marshall. That would have been an interesting looking face-off. Tour Linden is 1-1. Union is in the midst of their fourth power play. They are 1 for 3, 7 power play shots. The Engineers are 0 for 2 on the power play, 0 power play attempts. Lyndon Marshall, factor in the 2 goals he allowed, he was superb in that first period. Probably a play of the week nominee for that left pad save he made early on. Shots attempted were 24-3 Union. So the talk has to be get more pucks to the net if you're RPI, make Hansen work. Because it certainly was not enough in the first. But still plenty of hockey left, and Marshall, to his credit, has kept RPI in it through that first period. Before we get started with the second, we'd like to thank the Rensselaer Union, which provides funding for WRPI and all the club-related activity of the Institute, including WRPI. There's coverage of RPI hockey, football, and baseball. A reminder, WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to WRPI.org. You can pick up our broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So long as WRPI is broadcasting, we'll provide that broadcast on our internet feed. Once again, that's WRPI.org. 1:07 left on the power play for Union on the booking call against DeGrande. It'll be Hayhurst against Sapinski on the face-off here. As they're getting ready to drop the puck here. I'm not sure what the weight is here. All right, let's drop the puck. Hayhurst against Sapinski. Won by the Dutchman. And they have it through center, carried in by Rinaldi. Drop pass there. To the point, kept in by Estes. Down low. Vidmar. And now down low again. Centering pass is knocked out of the air by Rinaldi. And then flipped out all the way down. Takes a hop. Polino a chance. Short-handed breakaway. Polino scores! Engineers get a nice hop off the glass, and Patrick Polino goes 5-hole on Hansen. And now both teams have a short-handed goal. Just what the doctor ordered for RPI. Fans on their feet. They got their puck hats on, and they're loving it. Patty Polino with his first of the year and his 7th of his career. He was about to go off on a change, but the puck fell right at his feet, and he had a clean breakaway from across his own red line in. 20 seconds left in the Union power play. Swept away by the Engineers. Now trying to break. He almost had him. Donovan Ott was nearly gone. Hold on to your butts here. We're a minute into the second period. Awful close to a second shorthanded breakaway. Now the penalty is over. Out of the box comes DeGrande. And the goal was Polino's. Tommy Grant was the one who chipped it off the glass. Hit his stanchion, and it was headed down ice. It was angled as such that it was going to go all the way down, but it hit something, just popped out in the middle of the ice. No, it hit down low, trying to jam it at the side of the cage, just flipped all the way through. Now, Hayhurst drops it back, penalty coming up. And RPI is going to go on the power play, I think, here. Nope. It's an Engineer penalty. So it's going to be interference on Burgess. Must have been for clearing somebody out in front of the net. 5th power play for Union. Whiffen and Whiffen and Sapinski going in the draw. Here is Walker. Near corner, Rinaldi. Back to the point for Estes. Rinaldi holding. Trying to walk it in. You'll play it right back to Estes. Across. Up top, Estes. Here now, Walker. That one broken up. Glove down and just kept in by Estes. Now it's Samick, an opportunity to try and slap it out of there. Fanned on it. Kept alive by Ryan Walker. Vidmar. Up top they go. Estes near side. Half wall Rinaldi. Back to the far circle. Walker nearly stepped over the puck. Played it back near side for Estes. Minute 12 to go in the power play. Saved by Marshall. Tight angle shot. Lifted out of play. Was deflected. Faceoff's coming outside the zone. And then the Engineers catch a break here. As they were just trying to flip it out, it ended up hitting a Union stick and popping over the glass. So face-off outside the zone, minute 8 to go on the penalty to Burgess for interference. Here's Morton, stick handling into the middle, still Morton. Dances his way to the near half wall, now back to the point for Coleus, far side Liam Morgan. Fast Coleus, back to Morgan. Top of the circle, down low from Morton. Up top, Coleus, a wrister hit a body. That one caught Jake Morello, the Slingerlands native. Pops into the far corner. There's a tie up there. We get a whistle. Is it caught in some equipment? Possibly. Well, shots in the game right now, we're 24-3 Union. The Engineers have clawed their way within 2-1 on a shorthanded goal by Patrick Polino. A shorthanded breakaway. Face-off win for the Engineers in their own end. 34 to go in the power play. Grant trying to get it out with some help from Jerry. Gets it down ice. RPI will change half of its penalty killers. Near steal in the defensive zone there by Polino. He's looking for another one. There's actually Jerry. Polino's out there as well, however. Johnson knocks his man down. His pass ahead is broken up. Chipped all the way down ice. That should do it for the power play. Now, Polino put a little forecheck pressure on, threw a hit in the Coleus, knocked the puck away from him, but Union had numbers back. Power play's over. Union 1 for 5. There's a glove save on the try by Campbell. Marshall snares it. Might have been headed over, but he had to make sure. 16:09 to go. You are listening to live coverage of RPI Hockey, 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy. Engineers and Dutchmen from the Houston Fieldhouse. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's blackout. Engineers wearing their one-time use uniforms that will be raffled away. There's a charity raffle going on at the front of the Fieldhouse. Cleared to center. Good connection. Here comes Matt Harris. He'll flip it in. Handled by Hansen. This should be RPI's fourth shot. Third shot. There it is. Those shots attempted. I beg your pardon. They're 17-3. I was wrong before when I told you 24. 17-3 now are the shots. Thanks to Matt Harris. The score is 2-1. That's what matters. Engineers are right back in this game. This is tipped down ice. Should be icing if Tommy Grant can get on his horse. And he beats him to the dot. And that's what's the play there. Looked like Vidmar might have won the race to the puck, but Grant got to the dots first. And that'll draw the icing whistle. 5-on-5 hockey here. Still early on in the second period. Face-off one forward to the far corner. Good fight there from Tommy Lee. He continues to dig away. Now Sebastian Vidmar. Lobbed in the air. Will this be icing? Well, it can't be. It went out of play. Same result, though. Face-off back in the Union zone. Seems like after that shorthanded goal, even though the Engineers were on the kill, I felt a little bit more of a calming presence over this team. I think they're, well, they like to play on edge. A little bit skittish early in this game, but some of those things have been cleaned up as this game has gone on. Here's Tommy Lee in the corner again. Back to the point. Riley takes a shot through traffic, hit a leg. Might have been Donovan Ott trying to set a screen in front of the goal. Chipped up the boards. Now bouncing puck in the center ice logo. Who wants it? Nice play there to get free. That was Johnson. Then he lost the puck at the Union blue line. Now back come the Dutchman here. Morgan feeding it to the back post. Out in front of the reach of Walker into the far corner it goes. Now the defenseman Morgan down low. Up top for Coleus near point. Backing up is Coleus. Looking for a shooting lane, and he fired it into traffic. Never got to Marshall. Whiffen has it here. Ott's going to try to run the seam. And it comes off his stick and Coleus. Union takes over in their own zone. RPI will complete a change. Parker Fu into the RPI zone. Good body position by Johnson. Union wins it back, however. Digging away now in the corner is Meyer. That was actually Estes. He lost it. Now DeGrande looking to break. DeGrande trying to walk his way in. He caught the puck a little bit flat-footed. And wasn't able to turn on the Jets. That was a shot from the point. That was blocked. Flip back to center. DeGrande has it. He'll shoot it right back in. Tour Linden chasing. Out comes Hansen. He'll flip it off the far wall. Estes chopping. And the Engineers can't keep. Smart play to keep the puck moving by Moore. You realize it wasn't going to hold it. Moved it out to Grant, who shot it back in on goal. Hansen gloved. And now behind is Morton. Got to be careful with the stick there. DeGrande has already got a hooking call tonight. And this is not going to be icing. First one to it. Tommy Grant. There's a man on his back. It's Bro. And now DeGrande. Nice little saucer pass for Billy Jerry, who chips it deep. All the way around it goes. Samick on the far side. Campolito for Union. He'll try the near wall. Ferner pinching on the near boards. Polino now. And Morello. Morello holding. Ferner circles. Shot and a save made by Hansen. Plenty of traffic in front. Might have been Hayhurst who provided the rest of that screen, or make it Polino rather. This is not a big line with Polino, Morello, and the biggest man on the line is the center, Jerry, but causes some problems in the offensive zone right now. RPI fans have to like that. 12:55 to go in the second. Puck tipped along at center, now helped down ice. Good touch on the puck from Harrison to avoid the icing. Back to pick it up are the Engineers. Campolito, poke check, no. Right in front of the RPI bench. Lepinen back to the RPI line. Now through center, intercepted by Jerry. Billy Jerry on the move, hit a skate. Sabinski trying to turn it back the other way. Johnson has a step on him. And a good little poke check there. Get some help from Burgess. Todd Burgess, the Phoenix, Arizona native, playing in just his second year, although he's a junior. Academically, he sat out his entire first season due to injury. Union trying to break out, but it hasn't been as easy for the Dutchmen to break out of their own end. And again, they're turned over in the neutral zone. Hayhurst has Lepinen breaking. Hayhurst walking in, a centering pass, and it's knocked away into the corner. To the point is Riley. Riley walking his way in. He'll spin around to the far corner. Still Riley, handed off for Johnson. He takes a hit, lost the puck. It was Rinaldi who hit him, and Rinaldi's the one who ended up going down in the corner head first. 8:48 to go in the second. 2-1 Union leading. A power play goal and a shorthanded goal for the Dutchmen in the first period. RPI's come back with a shorty of their own here in the second. Now a pass just behind Hayhurst, who he might have been able to break in a 2-on-1. Swatted off a skate. Loose puck, slot, backhand shot blocked. Engineers trying to close the shots on goal gap, and one way to do that is to not allow any on your own net. They've done a much better job of that here in the second period so far. Nice play and nifty play through his own legs by Riley to get Johnson free. He'll flip it ahead. Waiting at the blue line is Donovan on. He'll try to play it across, but a great back check there as Estes got back into position to deny that play. Estes, far side tie up. He's knocked down. And now Meyer to center ice. Harris chases down Morgan in the corner, and the Engineers take over there. Tommy Grant shoots it off the wall. Waiting for it is Donovan Ott. He lost it. Right back down low it goes. It's Morgan. Bouncing puck, kicked at and thrown off the glass by the freshman and Calgary native Tommy Lee. Campolito far side, tipped into the RPI zone. Race for the puck. Harris is going to get there. Fu crashing. And now the long reach of Jack Adams, the 6'6" sophomore from Boxford, Mass. Will try and track it down. Swatted around to the far side. Now Harris knocks his man down. That was Morton. And now a puck flipped down ice. This should be icing on RPI if it has the legs. And it does. 10:09 to go in period number 2. Shots are 17-6 in favor of the Dutchmen. That may sound lopsided if you're just joining us, but what that really means is RPI is out shooting the Dutchmen 5-2 in the second period. So it's all about relativity here. Draw to the left of Marshall. Ferner had a crack at it. Tour Linden trying to clear it out, and does. This might not make it all the way to the goal line. It will not be icing. Swept around to the near side for Rinaldi. Kept in by the Engineers. That was Tour Linden. Campolito behind his own goal, nearly stolen away by Morello. And now it is stolen away by Bowman. Far side, Campolito. Down the middle, Vidmar. Backhands it into the RPI zone, into Rinaldi's skates, and RPI is able to chip it back to neutral ice. Campbell will carry in. Circle shot. Not a high percentage opportunity, but it's fired on goal. And Marshall will hold on to it, and we'll get our media stoppage here. That was the third shot of the period for Union. RPI still out shooting the Dutchman 5-3 in this second period, but it's 18-6 overall. Union story here, 1 for 5 on the power play. They scored on their first man advantage, and then they scored on RPI's first man advantage, that making it a shorthanded goal. But RPI came back in this period 37 seconds into the frame. A shorthanded goal by Patrick Polino with assists to Tommy Grant. And I forget, but we'll get that to you later. Anyway, not a bad spot to be if you're RPI down by a goal the way that first period went. Lyndon Marshall with a handful of stops, 13 in total, but a couple of real gems with his left pad. That at the time kept the game scoreless. Face-off coming up in the RPI zone to the right of Marshall. It'll be Hayhurst on the draw against Harrison. Shot right off the face-off. Taylor is blocked. Never got to Marshall. Now Tommy Grant runs his man to the boards. Excuse me. Chipped out to center. De Grande will work it up the wall. Hayhurst the first one to it. Back to the point. Some room out there. Near point, Grant. Wrist shot coming. Redirected on goal by Lepinen. Another try. No, he never got to it. He was tied up a bit. Now Grant at the near point again. Off for Hayhurst. At the wall. Far point feed. Shot coming blocked. Bouncing puck. Nice keep by Grant. He'll flip it towards goal. It was headed way wide, but held by the goaltender's glove. Darian Hansen. ECAC Hockey Goalie of the Week for Hansen. And Cole Meyer was the Player of the Week 2 weeks ago. Sapinski was the Player of the Week last week. Lots of a league award. Well, you're number 11 in the country. There's going to be a reason behind that. When you go sweep a very solid Northeastern team on the road, you're going to get some credit. And that's where the credit was due to the Dutchman. .8:53 to go in the second period. It's 2-1. Union leading. Face-offs are 18-16 RPI. So that's a stat you want to watch all year, because last year the Engineers were not good on the draw. They're trying to do a better job this time around. Had a lot of young guys taking draws last year too. That's another thing you want to keep in mind. Seems like the older, more savvy, stronger guys are the ones winning face-offs. See if that trend continues. Brady Whiffen, a senior, trying to win that one. Still loose. Myers going to try and shovel it off the wall. Good keep at the line by Mears Moore. Although Union's finally able to work it down ice and shoot it down. Tommy Grant back over to pick it up. Senior captain from Sparta, New Jersey. We'll wrap it around near side where it's intercepted by Meyer. Played far side. There's a man breaking. It's Ott trying to find him. First effort, no. Second effort, yes. Touch pass near side into the zone. A little bit of room. Moore shot. He scores! Mears Moore jumps into the play and ties the game. A great find by Donovan Ott. That's why you keep your head up. And the senior from Duluth picks up his first goal of the year, his fourth of his career. And we have a brand new hockey game with 8:21 to go. Giving these fans here a chance to stand up and cheer. That's all you really want as a hockey player. Moore pulls up top of the circle, rips it, tie game. An even strength goal here. This one comes trickling into Union territory. Gotta love the fight from this RPI team. Down 2-0. You gotta go back and also credit Marshall. Still a lot of game left here. Engineers have to stay out of the box, as they were not able to do early. Chipped along by Polino. He'll try and track it down in the far corner. He and Campolito go hard into the wall. Poked at by Ferner. Flipped out to center ice. And now stolen away by Morello. Shoots it off the boards and in deep. RPI will get a change. Ripped off the glass and all the way down. This will not be icing, so Marshall goes out to play and he'll slap it around. Worked up the wall, poked at by Hayhurst, and now a race for the puck. Burgess trying to get there. A couple players go down along the wall, and it's carried back the other way by Sapinski. Trying to walk his way in on Samek, gets shoved aside. There's actually Bro over there. Behind the net, stolen away by Hayhurst. Doing work below the goal line, like any good two-way centerman will do. Back out to center it goes, Vidmar. Good breakup at center. Ferner's going to cross the red line and dump it in. Hansen will stop it behind the goal. 2-2 RPI and Union. 6:44 to go in the second. Engineers have battled their way back from a 2-0 deficit here. A shorthanded goal by Patrick Polino, and then an even strength tally by Mears Moore. Both their firsts of the year, respectively. Bowman will tip it along. Sapinski goes into the wall there. They're wrapping around to Moore, who pinches up the far side boards all the way down low. Tour Linden, back for Moore. Moore to the point for Grant. Grant wheeling, firing just wide. Now DeGrande down low. He tries to walk it out in front. A save made by Hansen and a whistle. And a penalty. It's going to be a slash. And the Engineers are going on the power play with a chance to take the lead. Going to be a slash on Ryan Zadorsky, a freshman from Williamsville, New York. RPI will get its power play instructions from the bench. They're 0 for 2. RPI is. So far, that's what happens when you go to the net. You draw the penalties. Riley, near side boards for Hayhurst. A lot of pressure on him. This is a very aggressive penalty kill for Union, and it's been successful so far. The Engineers do not have a power play shot through their first 2 opportunities. Will Riley, junior captain from Toronto, trying to skate his way all the way in, going coast to coast. Riley, a shot and a save by Hansen. Couple of Dutchmen looked like they might have fallen asleep on the play. Maybe didn't expect Riley to walk that one all the way in, and he did. He got all the way to the circle. Now, that one's deflected on a play, I guess they'll say, so face-off outside the RPI zone. As it was cleared out, looked to be by Union stick, out of the surface, over the glass. They say it was off an Engineer, so face-off in neutral ice. Here is Ferner to slap it in. Minute and a half to go on the RPI power play, their third. 5 have gone against them. Union 1 for 5 on the man advantage. Here's Ferner walking it up the wall. Back to the far point. Slowing things down is Moore. He has the tying goal. Now Lepinen. In the corner, this is Tommy Lee. They dig away in the near corner of the Union zone halfway through the power play. Coming up on 5 minutes to go in the second period in a 2-2 tie game. Here's Ferner. Off for Jerry in his skates, has to spin away with it. Up the far side boards goes Jerry down low. Here is Tommy Lee. Up top for Moore near point. Holding, waiting, shooting. It's deflected in the air. Kicked at by Lee, off for Lepinen. Now in front, Jerry. Backhand shot saved by Hansen. Rebound, no, on the redirect. Trying to swat it out of the air was Lee. Now far side, Ferner on his backhand will work it down low. 26 to go in the power play. And they'll dig away in the corner. Finally, it comes free for Leppinen. He'll work it back to the point. On his backhand, as Ferner keeps alive. Leppinen circle, walking in. Down low, Jerry trying to jam it in. He goes down. And it's kicked out. There's a Union player without a stick in the corner. I think that's Morgan. Finally, Union able to clear. And that'll do it for the power play. But much better on the man advantage that time for the Engineers. They don't score. But they certainly threaten as Union's back to even. Will Riley had the best chance on that power play. Has the puck now behind the RPI goal. Riley to slow things down here. Everybody get a chance to catch their breath, including the broadcasters. Tipped on into the zone by Burgess. Gathered in by Hayhurst. Tried to find Johnson, who slipped and fell at center ice. Broken up in the neutral zone. Burgess, no. Second effort, Johnson, who gets back into position. Finds Hayhurst. Stick handling through center is Jacob Hayhurst on the move. Near side, Burgess fires a shot. It's deflected high in the air and into the netting. And we get a stoppage. 3:25 to play in the second period. 2 goals here in the frame. Polino shorthanded. Mears more. They came at 37 seconds and 11:39. Have this game tied with the 11th ranked Union Dutchman. RPI trying to hand Union its first loss of the year. They haven't led in this game, but of course, if they can get the next one, it'll change that. Series is led by RPI all time, 51-40-10. First ever meeting was February 26, 1904. RPI won it 6-2 in Albany. Certainly an outdoor game. Union, talked about streaks with Coach Smith in the pregame interview. Union won 10 games in a row, and then RPI took, I believe it was 6 of 7. And then it's been a 7-game streak unbeaten for Union. So yeah, 6 of 7 RPI won before Union won 7 in a row. So it's been a real streaky, this series. And Union trying to claw back into all-time 500 levels. They're still 11 games behind in that department, as far as the RPI records are concerned. Union moving it in far side. Penalty coming up here. Trying to center. Goes wide of goal, but it's going to be a power play here for Union with 3:06 left. So a big spot in this game, as Union is going to go on its 6th power play. It was it Samick? No, it was Moore. Held up his man on his way into the zone. Could have been a 2-on-1. It's going to be interference on Moore in the end here.
16 minutes, 54 seconds. 9 minutes away or more for interference at 16:54.
Face-off win. Shot around, kept in by Coleus. Adams at the circle. Coleus. Coleus at the near circle again. Fed across. Up top, Coleus. Near side for Adams. A shot and a save made. Rebound is left to the side of the net. Bouncing puck swept in out of the zone. Bellino trying to skate shorthanded with it. He's got a man in front of him this time. He'll fire a wrister up into the netting and will get a stoppage. There was a little bit of a scary moment there as Marshall made the save on the shot by Jack Adams, and the puck just kind of sat there next to him. Luckily, he had teammates in the area who were able to get it out of danger. 2-2 RPI and Union. Dutchmen on their 6th power play with 2:26 left in the second. 1:20 on the clock on the Mears Moore interference call. Face off in the Union zone after Patrick Polino with another shorthanded bid. And Union eventually comes away with his puck, but not before a little bit of a battle in the zone. RPI's fine with that if they want to fight for the puck in their own zone. Here comes the Union power play breakout. Vidmar into the zone, Sapinski. And now Rinaldi all the way around the goal. Poked away. Johnson trying to clear off the glass and all the way down. 2 minutes to go in the frame. And we're coming up on 50 seconds to go on this power play. Union to start from behind their own goal once again. It's the sophomore defenseman, Brandon Estes. Drops it off for Vidmar again. Off for Sapinski. This looks familiar. On for Rinaldi. Rinaldi trying to center. Saved by Marshall. Got a stick on that. On its way through. Vidmar behind the goal. Grant goes to meet him and work it up the far side boards. Brian Walker. Estes settling a bouncing puck. Off for Rinaldi near side circle. Estes again. Over to Sapinski. Vidmar far circle. Into the skates of Sapinski. Rinaldi, a shot that goes about 2 feet wide. It'll be kept near the far point by Sapinski. Grant can't knock it down. Fed around to the near circle. 10 to go in the power play. Up top, Sapinski. Rinaldi, a bouncing puck in the circle. Near side, Estes. Far side, Vidmar. A wrister over the top. And out of the box. The Engineers are back to even. Still not out of the woods yet as that shot from the circle by Rinaldi is saved by Marshall. Sapinski now poked away. Picked up by the Engineers. They want to go. Grant will cross center and dump it in. RPI will chase. 50 to go in the period. Fans want free stuff. Here's Ahers and a whistle. And too many men on the ice. Is that true? Dave Smith doesn't think so. There are 5 out there now. Well, I'm confused. The puck didn't really go near the Engineers' bench. The call was just made by our referee here. Are they going to look at it? Are they going to review it? No. Goodness gracious. All right. Back on the power play for Union. All right, 41.2 left, and it's going to be another power play for Union, their 7th. Bowman will serve the penalty. So after a big-time kill, RPI is going to go right back on it here. And that one knocked out of the air. Chance to, oh, another good stick there. It's a cross-ice feed looking for Adams, was broken up. Hayhurst knocks down Coleus. Shot to the far side into the zone. Come the Dutchman, they'll shoot it in. DeGrande on the near side. Helping it back into the corner. 17 to go in the period. Charging in is Hayhurst trying to break things up at the point, but they get it deep into the near corner. 10 to go in the second. Coleus wheeling back to the center of the blue line. Makes a move. He and Adams are both there. Shot was blocked into the far corner. Push back to the point there by Liam Morgan, and that'll do it for the period. Engineers all over the penalty sheet here. But more importantly, they've tied this game up. It's 2-2 after 2, and you look at the shot totals from that period. Engineers didn't completely flip the script there, but they were 10-5, so they gave up 15 shots in the first. RPI did just 5 in the second, and they got just the 1 offensively in the first and 10 in the second. So a much better period all around. You could say the goals don't hurt either. RPI will be on the kill, mind you. To start the third, we will step aside. I'll be back to tell you about what's going on in RPI Athletics in just a few minutes. It's a tie game, 2-2, RPI and number 11 Union. You're listening to live coverage of RPI hockey on 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy.
To win the grand prize of the 1-year lease on that all-new 2019 Honda Insight. All he's got to do is put the puck through the small hole in the center of the board, and he'll walk away with the grand prize of the 1-year lease on the 2019 Honda Insight. 3 chances at a job. Let's give him some encouragement. the truck contest. Come on down. Fieldhouse on Saturday mornings. Classes are for all ages. For more information, check out the program at hnsc.org. Award-winning chili, all off bone ribs, hand-cut steaks, and 10% off with the RPI snack for student ID. Legendary meals like this only found at Texas Roadhouse, 105 Wolf Road, County. Come dine with us, Texas Roadhouse. Tonight, after 2 periods of play in Providence, Rhode Island, it's Yale 3, round 2. Other ECAC teams, at the end of 2 periods, Cornell and Michigan State are tied at 1. After 2 periods, it's Penn State 3, Princeton 1. Middle of the second period, Michigan 1, St. Lawrence 0. At middle of the second period, it's Miami 2, Colgate 0.
It's time for the Great Milkshake Experience at Snicker Shops. Enjoy any size, any flavor milkshake for only $1.99. Experience a quality milkshake made with fresh, local milk and real ice cream. What's your flavor? Shake up your day with any of our delicious creative flavors from the ice cream shop. Try our fall flavors as a milkshake. Philly's apple pie or pumpkin pie ice cream. It's the Great Milkshake Experience.
Once again, that's WRPI.org. Teams are back out on the ice. 2-2 RPI and number 11 Union in the ECAC hockey opener for both teams. And Union came out firing in the first. Shots were 15-1 Dutchman after 1. But sometimes all you need is a little bit of a break, and that's what Patrick Polino and the Engineers got. Short-handed in the second early on, just 37 seconds in, and a carryover penalty from the first. A clearing play by Tommy Grant, hit a stanchion, fell right to Polino, who looked like he was really going off on a change. He picked up that puck and went all the way to the house. Beat Darian Hansen for the shorthanded goal. Then later in the period, Mears Moore on a nice cross-ice pass from Donovan Ott in the neutral zone, walked his way in and fired from the top of the right circle just inside the left post, tying it up at 2 apiece. We're ready for the third. Hope you are too. As it's RPI and Union, 20 minutes on the clock. Let's drop the puck. All the way into the Union zone. Remember, another carryover penalty here for for Union rather. And it's shot in deep, picked up on the far side by Vidmar. Rinaldi. Around to the far side point they go. 48 to go on the power play, just underway, third period. Vidmar behind the goal, crashing in, good poke check there. And RPI is able to clear. Hayhurst did the clearing after a good stick. I think it was Grant who poked it free. They're trying to go behind the goal to the near circle. And now Sapinski gets bumped, but Rinaldi has the puck along the near side wall. Back to the point for Walker. Now Campbell, blue line, far point, spins it over to Sapinski, walking into the slot. Near side, Walker, a shot that's hammered wide on the wrister. 10 seconds to go on the Union power play. They're 7th of the game. Puck in the far corner, RPI trying to clear. They keep it in with a skate. Great play there on the far side by Campbell. Walker into the slot, turning a poke check made. Sapinski knocks it free, and now carried on further. This is a tired group, and it's odd. It just spins around in the neutral zone and throws it cross ice. Union's able to bat it, but it's Grant who shoots it in. Dutchman 1-4-7 on the power play. They scored in their first. Engineers have killed off the next 6, including a shorthanded goal by Patrick Polino last period. Now a giveaway, more. Trying to turn and feed it towards the net. It was intercepted. Good job defending the front of the net by Vascolius. That dump in try hit the linesman by Union. And now flipped into the near corner. Losing his stick there was Polino. Go try and pick it up. Dutchman just having a little bit of trouble getting the puck deep now. Is now backing up in his own zone is Fu, being pressured by Jerry, and that just allows the Engineers to get a change. Should be an exciting finish as the Dutchmen move it out to center ice. There's a big collision in front of the bench, and it's turned back around by DeGrande. He gets upended in the near side corner. Back on his feet, puck in the near corner of the Union zone. Penalty coming up here. It's going to go on Estes as he clubbed somebody from behind. I think it's DeGrande who found himself on his stomach more than he did on his skates in that shift, but the second time he drew a penalty. It's going to be a board on Coleus. Yeah, he got dumped by Estes the first time. That was a clean hit. The second one, he caught him from behind into the wall. Luckily, DeGrande's okay. RPI is going to go on its 4th power play. Certainly its best man advantage with its most recent opportunity.
To number 7, Brandon Estes. It is a 2-minute sport.
17-18 to go in the third. RPI goes on its 4th power play. They have 2 shots so far, but no goals to show for it. If they put one home here, the roof's going to come off this place as Marshall stops it in the corner. Left behind by Riley. On comes Hayhurst, stick handling. He'll shoot it in. Hayhurst behind the goal, wraps it around into the skates of Lepinen. Drops it back. Riley, a fluttering slap shot that doesn't go, and it's cleared out to center. Jake Johnson back to pick it up for the Engineers. Freshman from Bloomington, Minnesota. Went to Bloomington Jefferson, played for the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders. Here's Riley. Drops it off at center for Hayhurst near side. Tipped into the zone for Johnson. Right back down low off the end wall. Trying to clear it out was Sidorsky, couldn't do so. Second effort's going to be able to get the job done. That's Coleus. Left along by Lyndon Marshall. And now Riley will play from behind his own goal. Whiffing with some speed up the far side boards. Takes a hit, but gets it deep. 43 to go on the RPI power play, their fourth. Nice, strong play behind the net by Tommy Lee. To the near point, Moore tracks it down. He has the tying goal. It was an even strength tally. A shot by Ferner is blocked in front. That caught Meyer, and he took the brunt of that shot, didn't get to goal. Cleared out by the Dutchman. 20 to go in the power play for RPI. 15:37 to play in the third period. In regulation, I should say. We're tied at 2. Shot around far side. Pinching is Moore. Puck pops to center. That should all but do it for the power play. 7 seconds left on it. Backing up in his own zone is Ferner. Takes a look around, finds Moore. Moore skating far side, lifts it up the wall. It's intercepted. Picked up and flung into the zone by Morello. Gathered up behind the cage. This is Brierly. Lost it to Jerry. Jerry digs forward in the corner. Still Billy Jerry. Out of the corner, leaves it at the point. Tommy Grant, a wrister. That one sails wide. Picked up by Harris. He fans on a shot. And he keeps it in the zone. Polino tiptoes the blue line. Polino walking in. He scores! Patrick Polino gives RPI its first lead. It's 3-2. What a shift by this group. A 2-goal game for Patty Polino, and the Engineers take a 3-2 lead with 14:46 to play. Kicking out the top right corner was Polino. He just kept that puck in. Had a man down low was Morello. He goes top right corner. Matt Harris nearly jumped out of his skates when he saw that one go in. RPI leads for the first time after trailing 2-0 early, and they dump it in. Far side, Burgess. Morello takes the hit, or make it Hayhurst rather, in the corner there. Kept in by Riley. He'll chip it deep. Around to the near side it goes. Down low now. Here's Lepinen. Left it off for Burgess. Bouncing puck in the circle, controlled by Morgan. And it's Union out to center. Pops right back to Morgan's tape. His stick gets lifted. Good back check by Lepinen. He'll lift it out of the zone. Estes across. Shot in on goal. Glove by Marshall. And he'll hold on to it there.
Let's get on your feet, get loud. It's time for the safety t-shirt toss.
Shots in the game right now are 20-12 Union. But the Engineers have scored on 3 of their opportunities. They have not missed the net tonight like they have in games past. In fact, they're hitting the right parts of the net. Brierly, a shot and a save on the stick by Marshall. Samek trying to work it up the wall, chopped out of the zone by Ott. Backing up in his zone, a little bit of pressure there. Applied by Lee, chipped to the RPI line, shot right back down, hit the linesman's skate. May have been icing if not. Behind the goal, here's Brierly. Taylor Brierly off for Brett Sapinski, the senior. Working into the zone, Rinaldi walking in, tight angle shot and a save by Marshall. Puck goes behind the goal. Now another puck pops out in front and Marshall has to smother. As we'll get a draw coming up in the RPI zone and possibly a media stoppage here. That'll give me a chance to tell you what's going on around ECAC hockey play. The Ivies are still, oh, they're in action. Oh, time flies. Yale leads Brown 2-1. They're in the third period. Quinnipiac on top of American International. That's a non-league game. The only ECAC hockey games going on right now are Yale, Brown in this one. But Yale leads Brown in the third. Quinnipiac 2-1 at American International. Cornell and Michigan State are tied at 1 in Ithaca. Penn State leads Princeton 3-1 in Happy Valley. Michigan 2, St. Lawrence nothing. That's at Yost in Ann Arbor. And then Miami University leads Colgate 2-1. That one is in Women's hockey today, I mentioned it earlier, they tied RIT 1-1 today. That's a 2-game weekend series will conclude tomorrow. Here we have RPI leading Union 3-2. There's a bouncing puck that leaves the zone. We'll get a whistle for an offside. Union scoring at 5:25 of the first period. Sam Morton, his first collegiate goal in the power play from Cole Meyer and Liam Morgan. Then a shorthanded goal by Sean Harrison, his first of the year from Brendan Taylor. And at 2-0 Union, 11:16 of the first. As we're back to action here. Yada, yada, yada. RPI at the next three. No, I'll get you the official scoring there. Kick to center by Hayhurst, and maybe a chance to break in with Lepinen. Trying to find him. Lepinen backhand shot. He scores! Otto Ville! Lepinen! And it's 4-2. First career goal for Otto Ville. Somebody tracked down that puck. He doesn't care. He doesn't want it. Lepinen is fired up as he heads to the bench. My goodness. Hayhurst did all he could to get him the puck, and Lepinen went 5-hole. He kicked it to his stick, backhand through Hansen's legs. It's a 4-2 hockey game. The Engineers have the last 4 goals of this one. It's a wild scene here at the Fieldhouse. 12:53 to go. Johnson up the wall. Stops there. Fed up ice, stolen away by Campbell. He marches right into the RPI zone. Campbell walking in. Centering pass. Saved by Marshall. Back comes Polino. A 2-on-1 with Morello. Polino a shot high and wide. A hat trick sitting on the stick of Polino. And that puck bobbled on him, I think. Hopped up and his shot went way high, but stayed on the ice. Sapinski a try. That's up over the glass, or off the glass, I should say. Lifted up the near side boards out to center. Now Brierly. Backing up in his own zone. Union wants to get a partial change. They do. Campolito behind for Brierly. It's Lepinen's first career goal that makes it 4-2 RPI. 2 in the second, 2 here in the third for the Engineers. It's swatted into the RPI zone near side chase. Chopped at up the wall. Broken up there by Taylor. But the Engineers do clear to center. Harrison backing up in his own zone with pressure from Tour Linden. Or make it Tommy Lee, rather. Now they're offside as Taylor jumped across the line early. Still a long way to go, but the Engineers, who took the lead at 5:14 of the third period. Patrick Polino's second of the year from Matt Harris. They've added to it Otto Ville Lepinen, the freshman from Espoo, Finland, with his first career goal from Jacob Hayhurst. That's 6:57. Worked up ice. This is Parker Fu, Chicago Blackhawks draft pick, trying to walk it out in front. And he got there, but he was dumped by Moore. And the Engineers trying to clear the center. They can't. Shot coming. They score. Redirected, I think, by Fu. At least he caused a screen and is a 4-3 game with 11:22 left. It was kind of a busted play. Engineers nearly had it cleared out the near side. It popped free, and Adams, that was a clean on through. Fu provided a bit of a screen. Moore was standing next to him. I don't think Marshall saw it at all. It's back to a 1-goal game. Chip to center, Hayhurst. He'll move it in far side. Shot around to the near wall. Union end, back to the point. Some room for a shot from Johnson. It was blocked right in front. First man he hit. He'll dump it in on the second effort as it came right back to him.
Assisted by number 15, Jack Adams, and number 28, Sam Morton. Time that goal equals 38 seconds.
So 4-3 game, 10:43 left. Already 3 goals in this period, 2 for the Engineers, 1 for the Dutchmen. RPI in his own zone. Tipped in deep by Donovan Ott. Hansen will play far side, waiting for it. DeGrande takes a shot, trying to catch Hansen out of the net. He couldn't. Kept in by Samick at the near point behind the goal. All the way around for DeGrande. Cycling for Whiffen. Engineers trying to flex their muscle now at the offensive end, and that one skips through out to center past Ferner. He'll back up in the neutral zone. Engineers need a touch up. Flip through center, poked into the zone. Here's Sapinski. Waiting for help, drops it off. Vidmar, good stick tie up by Whiffen. Has a man breaking. It's now a one-on-one with DeGrande, who leans into Sidorski, and then they tangle in the far corner. Over halfway through this third period, RPI leads by a single goal, 4-3. Jerry now in the corner. Polino back to the point. Tommy Grant, he'll filter it right back down low. Morello dropping it off, looking for Polino. It was broken up, and now Union a chance to break with numbers. They hit the line 3-on-3, forced wide by the RPI defense as Josh Kosak eventually just ended up dumping it in. Now a turnover. Here is Kosak behind the RPI goal. Turning. Played off the end boards. Harrison trying to jam it in on the near side. It comes free to Harrison again. Battling for it there is Harrison. Polino. Some space on the far side of the RPI zone. Gets it to center off the stick of Morello. He gloves it down and shoots it deep. RPI gets a much needed change. Shots are 24-13 Union. Not a good night if you're a goaltender. As it's carried on by Campbell. Near side Adams. A little bit of room in the circle. Takes a shot and a blocker save by Marshall. Campbell tried to pounce on the rebound in the far circle, but he was met by Linden. And now it's Linden trying to get it out. Good strength by Campbell, but finally the Engineers pry it free. Johnson up the near boards, tipped in deep by Lee. Or did he? Icing is the call. And the RPI fans aren't going to like that one. Although it might have been the correct one. 8:19 to play. RPI leading number 11 Union 4-3. You are listening to live coverage of RPI hockey on 91.5 FM WRPI Troy. Perry Lascaris here at the Houston Fieldhouse.
Timeout RPI. It's the winners of the Black Jersey raffles. Tonight, number 1 goes
It's almost Halloween.
Number 2 to Kathy Harris. Number 3 goes to Alex Paslow.
Engineers trying to spook these Dutchmen here tonight. Pick up their first win, hand them their first loss.
Number 7 to Dustin Fortas.
Immediate timeout. We can check some scores.
Number 9, Ivan Hera. Jersey 11 to Jay Arnold.
I'll run down the score. I didn't finish. I only got through the first 2 Union goals before
Number 16, Caleb Patricia.
we got sidetracked with RPI scoring again. Anyway, it was 2-0 Union after 1. Then at 37 seconds of the second period, Patrick Polino, a shorthanded goal from Tommy Grant and Jacob Hayhurst made it 2-1. Then RPI tied it up at 11:39 of the second. Mirrors more from Donovan Ott and Brady Whiffen. Patrick Polino gave RPI a 3-2 lead at 5:14 of the third from Matt Harris. And then it was Otto Ville-Leppinen from Jacob Hayhurst and Todd Burgess at 6:57. Made it 4-2. Union came back. With less than 2 minutes later, a goal by Parker Fu, with the assist going to Jack Adams. That's the initial scoring. We'll see if that changes. I thought it might have been a clean shot. We shall see. Tipped all the way down the ice, but it's going to be on goal, so no icing here. RPI avoids that. It's from their own blue line, redirected by Jacob Hayhurst. When you have an eye for the goal, like Hayhurst does, almost expect those redirects to go on target no matter where you are, even if you're 150 feet away. Kicked into the RPI zone, flicked off the boards. Rinaldi trying to center. Good position by Samick to move it up the far side wall now. Although it's intercepted and thrown on goal, covered up by Marshall with reinforcements in front of him.
Finishing up the Jersey raffles, number 26 goes to Carter. 27
Shots here.
28 to
Updated 26-14 Union. Dutchmen are 1 for 7 on the power play. RPI 0 for 4. Both teams have a shorthanded goal.
Number 39 goes to Rich Below. Jerseys will be handed out following tonight's contests.
I know we just did out-of-town scores, and not much has changed. Michigan State on top of Cornell now 3-1, and Penn State has a 4-2 lead on Princeton. Miami leads Colgate 3-1 now, still 2-0 Michigan over Lawrence. The in-town scoreboard says RPI 4, Union 3, with 7:38 to go. And guess what? We get to do this all over again tomorrow night in Schenectady. Only with delicious barbecue. No. Face-off coming up in the RPI zone. 5-on-5 hockey with under 8 to play. Flipped in deep by Lee. Gets crunched along the half wall. Loose at the side of the cage as Hansen had some trouble with it. Gets some help from Sapinski. Through center comes Liam Morgan to the RPI line. Intercepted there. Tipped along into Union territory. Sapinski has it. A little bit of pressure comes in the form of Burgess. Now back comes Liam Morgan. Flips it deep and skates around Samick, then leans into Ferner. They do battle in the near corner. Bouncing puck at the near half wall. Vidmar, backhand shot from a tight angle, held onto by Marshall.
National Grid Foundation partnered with RPI Athletics, bringing local schools.
The Engineers came in tonight's game with a total of 3 goals.
Thanks, National Grid Foundation, for their support of our local.
They have 4 over the last period and 3 quarters. .6:56 to go, face-off RPI zone near side. One back by the Dutchman. Coleus fades towards the near point, flutters a shot wide of goal. Moore chips it off the boards out to center. Penalty coming. It's going to be a trip. Hansen off. Coleus. It's going to be an 8th Union power play. Coleus stick handling near side for Taylor. In deep it goes. Extra attacker on with 6.5 to go. There's a whistle. It's going to be a trip. And another power play for Union. So the Engineers, who took 3 penalties each of the last 2 games, there were 6 for 6, killing off those, have now taken their 8th of this one. It's a tripping call on Morello. In a huge spot, 6.5 to play. Engineers win the draw. They've done a great job in the circle tonight, and it's Riley who clears it down. Union to set up the breakout from their own zone. Dropped off here, out of the reach of Vidmar, back behind the goal. Fans applaud that mishap. As it's Campbell working it up the far side boards. Drops it off for Vidmar. Now Sapinski into the zone near side. Off for Rinaldi. Rinaldi all the way to the corner with it. He'll turn back towards the half wall. Back to the point for Walker. Far side Campbell. Back to Walker. Top of the near circle. Drops it off Sapinski. A drive that goes wide. Trying to chop at it there was a whiffing. Couldn't corral. Campbell at the far boards. Holding. Works it up the wall. We're halfway through the power play. Down low. Vidmar takes a look, works it to the near half boards now for Sapinski. Up top, Campbell. Campbell spins it back to Sapinski walking in. Near side, Vidmar, wrister, saved by Marshall. Rebound on the near side, wrap it around. A try by Campbell, hits bodies and goes wide. Now Vidmar stealing it in front. Loose puck, side of the cage, covered up by Marshall. Squeezed it between the pads. And now we get some extracurriculars here. As the Engineers didn't like the way the Dutchmen were hanging around their goaltender. And it's a slap of the pad from a couple of penalty killers for their netminder there, Lyndon Marshall. 39 seconds left on the tripping call to Morello. Engineers trying to hang on. They have a 4-3 lead. Best thing they can do, however, is to extend it. They extended their 3-2 lead to 4, but Union got it right back. Far side, fanning on it was Adams, poked at by Harris. Pass out of the zone for Coleus. 22 to go on the power play. Cole Meyer, far side, Coleus with speed into the zone. Tries to walk around Harris. Harris bumps him there. Shot around to the near side from Morgan, waiting at the point. Working it down low. Into the skates of Meyer. 7 to go on the power play. Coleus a shot. And that one looked like he might have snapped his stick, but he didn't. Puck just went into the far corner. Down low, turning and shooting. A save made. Rebound. Jam try no. Penalties over. And the puck is out to center. 7 of 8 on the kill are the Engineers. The last 7 they've killed off in a row. A little over 4 to play, 4:07 left. Puck deep in Union territory. They look to break out from there. Campolito carried on further. Chip deep, that's Kosak. And that one's gonna hop out of play, and we get a stoppage. 3:53 to go. It's a 4-3 RPI lead here on WRPI. Oh, we got a post in there somewhere. And a save by Marshall. My goodness. Shots 30-14 Union, but the Engineers have a 1-goal lead. I mentioned a shorthanded goal each way. It's the first shorthanded goal for the Engineers. It was Patty Polinos. First one since Evan Tierney's against Brown on December 2nd, 2017. That was last year. For Union, I can't tell you. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure they've had shorthanded goals before. Face-off win for the Engineers in their own zone. We're back to action here. Onto the media timeout. Shot deep by Tuur Linden. Stopped behind the goal by Hansen. Gave it away to Whiffen, but good play by Vidmar to break that play up before Whiffen could throw it in front of the goal. Now stick handling is Rinaldi through center. Fed across. Nice look. Campolito a shot. Blocker saved by Marshall. Behind the goal. Back to the point. Vidmar. A shot. That one's blocked. Near point keep by Campbell. Walking his way in. Campbell on his backhand all the way around the goal. Trying to jam it in. And it went behind the cage. Picked up Jake Johnson. Ahead for Whiffen, who just crosses center and dumps it into the near corner. Campolito back to pick it up. 3:05 to go. Touch pass off the boards for Fu. He gets hit. Shot near side. Swept into the zone by Leppinen. Hansen will stop it behind the cage. Coleus with a man on his tail. Shoots it off the near side boards. On for Fu. Parker Fu into the zone. Hit thrown by Samick. And it's flipped to the far side. Shot coming. Blocked by Ferner. Reaching for it is Marshall. That was a little bit of a risky play, but he felt like he could get there and did with the glove. 2:40 left in this one. RPI leading it 4-3. Engineers have led by as many as 2, so has Union. Union led 2-0 back in the first, even into the second period. The Engineers had a very brief, less than a 2-minute 4-2 lead in this game here in the third. Coleus far side, gave it away. Moore chips it high in the air. It's going to be no icing as it's beaten out here by Polino. 2 goals on the night for Patrick Polino. Back to the point, and Mears Moore will shoot it in. And now swept in further by Linden. Given away, shot by Jerry, and that one hit a leg. That one was gifted to Jerry in that far circle, but he couldn't get it past the defenseman in front of him. He'll just try to shovel this one up the wall. RPI trying to change. 2 minutes to go in the third. 4-3 RPI over number 11 Union. As it's shot deep by Ott. Out of his net is Hansen. How much longer will he be in the net is the question. Now Lee trying to separate him from the puck. Makes a nice move. Back to the point. Here's Johnson. He risks when it's blocked down. Behind the goal now. Whiffin battling for it and winning it back with 1.5 minutes to go. Still Whiffin. Over to help out there. Union's able to work it out to center ice. It's Rinaldi on the carry. Far side. Off goes Hansen with 1:20 to go. 6 skaters on for the Dutchman as it wraps around. Near side, half wall, 6-on-5 hockey with 1:11 left. Engineers trying to find a lane. They lift it out to center. Bouncing puck is rolling wide of the goal, and it's icing on the Engineers. Oh, about 6 to 8 feet. More like 6 feet wide left. A rolling puck, you never know where that's going to go. It went just left of the cage, and it'll send the face-off back down into RPI's end. Well, Union already used its timeout. RPI, I do not think has. Union challenged early on that play. If you can remember back, Lyndon Marshall made a great second pad save, and Union used his timeout to challenge to see if it was a goal. It was not, so they don't have a timeout. Draw coming up to the left of Lyndon Marshall. Still a pulled netminder to my left. One for Vidmar. That one might have caught the crossbar on its way through. Could have gotten Marshall's mask as well. Back to the point now, far side Coleus. Trying to walk it out in front. It's stolen away. And a shot at the empty net. He got it! Linden puts this one to bed. 45 seconds left. It's a 5-3 lead. Another first career goal. This one for Linden, the freshman from Great Falls, Virginia. You won't see a more confident shot from your own blue line for Tuur Linden. He hit right down the middle, square in the middle of the Union net. It's 5-3. Poked free, and here comes Polino one-on-one with the defenseman. He takes a hit and just leaves it in the corner. 30 seconds to go. Hayhurst with the assist. 20 seconds left. Union from behind its own goal. On comes Taylor. Into the RPI zone. We got a penalty coming up here. It's going to be a slash with 10.3 seconds left. Union's going to go on his 9th power play.
Don't get yourself a little squad. Get yourself a team.
Penalty's going to go on. Who is that? Everyone's standing. I can't see. Looks like 26, Jake Morello. He's going to go off for tripping here. RPI penalty kill talking things over. It's going to be 6-on-4 for the final 10.3. And now RPI is going to take its timeout. So we'll get you caught up here in a moment. Union scored the first 2 goals of this game. RPI came back to tie it up in the second, 2-2 after 2. How much time are they putting on the clock? I missed it. 5-3 RPI, 10.3 left. A 9th power play coming up here for Union. Union, or RPI out of its timeout, I should say. They're putting a minute 23 on the clock? That can't be right. No. No. That's not right. 1.2? That's not right either. Somebody who can work at electronics board. 12 seconds even on the clock. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. 12 seconds left. Drop the puck, Vidmar. Across. Shot coming. Saved by Marshall, scrambling out of his goal. Vidmar again. A shot, another save by Marshall. And it's out of play with 4.6. We'll draw it up in the far side of the RPI zone. RPI is able to get a change if they wanted. Whiffing out to take the draw. Engineers lose it. Vidmar shoots from a tight angle, saved by Marshall, and we get another stoppage with 0.9 seconds left. Union certainly not going down quietly here. They're firing off all the bullets they got left in the chamber. That one's finally a horn. Engineers win it 5-3. They knock off number 11, Union. First Engineers victory. They're 1-0 in ECAC hockey play. The Dutchmen lose for the first time. They're 4-1-1, 0-1-0 in the conference. And we get to do it all over again tomorrow night in Schenectady. First career goals for Leppinen and Linden. Polino had 2. Mears Moore had the other. Engineers win it 5-3. Shots were 35-15 Union. Lyndon Marshall spectacular in the first when he had to be, and late when the Engineers needed him to hold on to the lead. Sticks raised all around for these Engineers. Not the prettiest jerseys if you ask me, but if they do that, they can wear whatever the heck they want. Before we go, we'd like to thank the Rensselaer Union, which provides the funding for WRPI and all the club-related activity of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of RPI hockey, football, and baseball. A reminder, WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to WRPI.org. You can pick up our broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So long as WRPI is broadcasting, we'll provide that broadcast on our internet feed. Once again, that's WRPI.org. I'd like to thank all of you for listening to tonight's hockey game. DJ Scooter back at the station for getting us on the air and keeping us there. Your final score from the Houston Fieldhouse. It was RPI 5 and Union 3. You've been listening to live coverage of Engineers hockey on 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy.